Hi there, it's Emily with Fan Flipping Tastic. Today I'm going to show you how to change an electrical outlet. So let's get started. Alright, here's my outlet, here's me. Grab your tester, make sure you don't have any power, good to go. Grab your flathead screwdriver, and you want to first start by unscrewing the screws at the top and the bottom that hold the outlet into the electrical box. Going back to that tester that I used in the very beginning, the way that one works is it stays lit when the power is on. So because it just flashed red and then the light went out right away, I knew that the power was out. Always turn the power off before you attempt to change an outlet. Very important. Here I'm struggling because the bottom screw has been painted over. So I'm trying to scrape the paint out of the groove so I can get the screwdriver in there. Do yourself a favor, whenever you change an outlet and you're planning to repaint, put a little bit of tape over the screws so that that doesn't happen. It'll make your life a lot easier in the future. Here I've given up on the screwdriver. Fingers work better. All right. So now that the screws are removed, you can take the outlet out and see what you have going on. Here's a closer view for you. It is super dusty in there. But there you see the black wires, the white wires. I have a metal electrical box. The black wires are wrapped around the gold screws. So your job is to transfer them to the new outlet. So let's grab a new outlet. So those two black wires wrapped around the gold screws are going to get moved to the same corresponding gold screws on the new outlet. So that's going to be the first thing that I do. So with your trusty flathead screwdriver again, you're going to loosen up the screws on the old outlet, the one you want to get rid of. And then you want to take the wires off of those screws. And then I like to separate the wires in the electrical box just so I know what goes where. So my black wire that was attached to the top screw, I've pushed it up to the top. Same for the bottom, pushed it down to the bottom. That way I can keep everything straight so I know that I will put the new outlet on correctly. When you're putting the curl around the screw, it's very important that you go with the screw. So you want the curl to tighten as you screw the screw tighter. Also, when you're screwing your screws down on the new outlet, you want to make sure that you have a really tight connection and that that screw is really firm and tightened, because that pushes the electrical wire against the metal plate of the outlet, and that ensures a good electrical connection, which will reduce any chances of, a spark here or there, which we don't want. So again, once you tighten it, go really, really tight, like Hulk. Give it a test, jiggle those wires, make sure they're not moving at all. Here you can see they're tight and you can see that it's curled with the screw. Working on my camera angles here, sorry about that. Here you can see the white wires. Next, I'm going to transfer to the silver screws. So the bottom will go to the bottom, the top will go to the top. That wall paint though. Am I right? All right, here we go. So take your flathead screwdriver. I know my hand is blocking it, but it's just the angle that I was working with. So sorry about that, but not a whole lot you can do when you're in an empty house construction zone. But here I am, just like I did on the other side, unscrewing and loosening the two white screws so that I can get the wires out. So here I'm just going to go straight for it. I took the top white wire off and I'm transferring it to the top silver screw for this one because I'm screwing well, I don't know, I always struggle with clockwise and counterclockwise, but the way that it works out, on the left side of the outlet, your curl needs to curl down, and that way it'll tighten around itself as you go, as you screw that screw tighter. So do the same thing with the bottom one, get that old outlet out of the way. So curl it so the curl is curling downward. Whoops. And then screw it in. Again, making sure it's nice and tight so that you have a good connection between the wire and the plate so that you don't have any sparking happening. I've changed lots of these and I've never had any sparks. So just make sure you get it really tight like I am there. Okay, so next let's see how I did. Okay, so there you can see the two white wires have been transferred. Let's talk about that green screw. This is for the ground wire. And as you can see, I don't have a ground wire coming out of the box. This is an older style metal electrical box. And what they did, if I did have a ground wire, it would look like just a bare copper wire. And that would get wrapped around the green screw. But what they did instead, there's the ground wire. You can see it in the back, and because it is a metal box, they've wrapped it around a screw in the back. So what they did is they grounded the entire metal box. So that means that the outlet itself is going to be grounded just because it sits in that box. So that's just, something to look out for. If you have a blue plastic electrical box, when you take out your outlet, you will need to make sure that that ground wire is attached to that green screw. So now we are finished. It is time to put the outlet back into the wall. So try and fold up your wires and push it back in there. A lot of times these wires are really stiff, so you kind of have to fight with it a little bit. And then what you're going to do is put the tops, or you're going to screw the top and the bottom screws back in to the little holes at the top and the bottom of the electrical box. Here, I'll show you a closer view so you can see where exactly I'm working. That screw at the bottom that I'm pointing to, I'm aiming for that hole in the electrical box. So that's my objective. So I like to get it started with my screwdriver. Also take some time here to make sure that it is straight up and down. You don't want a wonky outlet in your wall. It doesn't look good. So just take a minute and make sure that the sides are lined up with the sides of the electrical box. Use a level if needed. Here I'm giving up on the screwdriver. I'm going to very slowly use the drill to finish the job. Slowly, very slowly. Little adjustment there to make sure that it stays vertical. Again, my hand is blocking the outlet, but I'm stabilizing the outlet to make sure that I screw it in straight. Finishing touches, tighten up the top. Tighten up the bottom. have it. So let's see how I did. Here is my new outlet in the wall. Everything's nice and straight. Oh, get that junk out of there. So it's nice and straight in line with the electrical box. So that's it. That is how you change an electrical outlet. Thanks for watching.